I'm the best version of myself that has ever existed. Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of the SayPleasePodcast, where if you ask, you shall receive. But first, say please. Because if you don't talk to me nice, you will not talk to me twice. My name is Deidre.
And I'm Amanda.
The Say Please podcast is sponsored fully by us. Two girls pursuing our passions, leaning into our learnings, and promoting positivity. Our word of the day is equanimity. Equanimity is mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. Example, she accepted both the good and the bad with equanimity. In order to be a person filled with equanimity, you must choose kindness over being right most of the time. Before we deep dive into your story today, what does that word mean to you, Amanda?
Equanimity.
Equanimity.
I like that word. Can you read the definition one more time? Let me let it really soak in.
I got you. So, equanimity, mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation.
Wow. That is something that I have been trying to master for a while. But equanimity, that would be like just kind of observing everything that's happening to you, but still staying grounded and not letting like what you see like in your reality affect your inner world. You keep your inner world stable and focused and calm instead of letting the outside events happening outside of you
have an effect on your inner.
Move you, sway you. It's been very strong.
I compare it to being impressionable. I aim to not be impressionable, but I catch myself being like that sometimes. I used to live my life by the motto, like reciprocity. Like I'm gonna match your energy. I'm gonna give you exactly what you're giving me. Sorry if you hear me burp. I was drinking Diet Coke. Not sponsored. But yeah, I had to realize that you can't fight fire with fire. You have to fight fire with water. You can't let someone get you hype. I told you, me and one of my girlfriends like had a falling out last night, and I was reflecting on my part in it. I love to reflect on my part because like I don't want my I want to de-escalate situations. I want to aim to de-escalate. And sometimes if you feel like there is negative energy in the situation, that doesn't mean you have to add more negative energy. You can add some positive energy because energy is contagious, whether it's good or bad.
How do you think, in what ways do you think you could like inject positive energy into a situation, like a conflict with somebody, if you're in a dynamic with someone and there's a lot of negative energy around? That Diet Coke, man.
Yo, it's gonna do that the whole episode, and I was gonna see if we should cut it, but honestly, screw it. Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Diet Coke
Diet
over
Coke.
here.
Just in case y'all want to, there ain't no beet juice in this.
Every time you burp, just say Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, I love you. Do you see my birthday invitation? It's entry fee is one Diet Coke. Yeah. Good, I'm glad you saw that because it's required.
Okay, I'll bring you Diet Coke.
Yay. About what we're talking about. Oh, what can we do to put positive energy into a situation?
Yeah, like if you're in a dynamic with somebody, relationship, friendship, romantic, or family, whatever, and you can feel that the connection has a lot of negativity in it at the moment, like in what ways can you inject positive energy into that?
Number one, distance myself. If I'm feeling negative vibes, we do need some distance because it's just going to escalate from there. And you need to take time and space away, especially if I was feeling like it was harmful to my health, then I would have to step away. But also I need to realize how to handle myself better in situations. Like I told you earlier, being assertive versus aggressive. Like I aim for assertive. I don't want to be aggressive. Aggression is not logical. Assertive is facts. Aggression is emotion. And yeah. So how can I, to answer your question on how I can bring positive energy into a negative situation, I think it's proactive, being more proactive versus reactive. There you go.
I like that, proactive over reactive. It's hard though because you mentioned like distancing, but like me, for example, I'm the type of person that like if I'm having a conflict with somebody, I feel like I have to fix it. I have to do something to fix it.
Yeah.
So like thinking about like
valid
getting distance is like that would be really hard for me to do because I'm like, but I gotta do something to fix this.
I think fixing you is by proxy fixing the situation. If you know how to handle it better, there you go. Yeah. You know, my family's gonna eat me up when they watch this because I judge people who burp. I don't burp, but that's why it sounds like a pterodactyl. You're not like,
yeah, it's like just kind of like
it's in my throat.
Yeah, it's in the throat.
Yeah, yes. I'm just there you go.
It's like in there, but it's like,
yeah. No, I don't burp often, and then when I do, it sounds like this, like kind of like a pterodactyl / exorcism going on. And so when I do burp, my family like judges me because when they burp, I look at them like this, I'm like, you're nasty, that's nasty. Because I don't belch.
I think it's great.
So I'm judgmental.
Belches.
Actually, working at Spaghetti's broke that. It broke that for me because we were on a small dressing room and like, especially the boys, like they were just belching 24/7. Like, it's like air vomit.
Yeah,
I hate burping.
Yeah.
As I burp all episode today. Yeah, bring if you're a more emotionally regulated, controlled person by proxy, you'll lead by example.
That's a good point.
But it's easier said than done. It's not. It's not easy.
Well, also just like from more like a manifestation, spiritual standpoint, like your reality, like in the way that your relationships go, is like a reflection of your inner state. So I guess like you're right, like the key supposedly, like I'm still trying to figure out how to do this, is to not try to fix what's going on outside of you right away, is to first fix your inner state.
It's hard because I always say, who's worth saving? Diet Coke. Who's worth saving? And to me, I feel like all my people are worth saving. I want to save them all. It's like, do I save my mom or does she deserve it since she's older than me? She should be guiding me. She should be the one with the wisdom. Should I save my sister? Should I save Ellie? One of my little girls, like, because she's a kid and she, she's so innocent. And I think everyone's worth saving. It's just giving yourself the right tools and knowledge, because there's power in knowledge.
Yeah.
And being prepared. I keep corny backgrounds on my phone lately. And one of the corny ones I keep is this quote by Kobe Bryant that says,
you got me doing it,
Diet Coke, I love you. But there's this quote on the back of my phone because it resonated with me so hard. Because I'm anxious. So it's like, how do I combat that? And this quote said, someone asked Kobe how he was so insanely confident for every game, and he said back, I come in here confident because I knew I did everything I could do to be prepared. It was about practice. And that really resonated with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I still like that quote a lot. Just being prepared.
That is true, though. Yeah, like confidence, like true confidence. Yeah, I truly believe it comes from being prepared. Or at least, I don't know. Well, okay, so for example, like when I'm on stage, like I'm so confident on stage because I'm prepared.
You're prepared, exactly.
Because I know my lines, I know my shit. So why would I not be confident? Same thing with singing. If I'm like singing something, like some people get stage fright and they're like, oh, because I don't want to sound awful or sound horrible. It's like, I don't worry about that because I've done the preparation beforehand to make sure that I'm going to sound my best and that I'm not going to miss a lyric and that I know how to sing this
I
song.
know that's right.
So, yeah, if you're not prepared, good luck being confident.
And it's funny because me and my friend Perk were talking about this last night. He stopped by, and we've been friends since I was like 19, 18, 20 years old. And when he was really there for me when I went through my cancer, he lived right by the hospital. I used to go sit with him all the time, and I would be so sad. And he was just like, do his best to make me happy. Shout out to Perk, one of them. But he was saying last night how shit. What were we talking about? What was he
It's the
saying? When I
Diet
get the
Coke.
Diet Coke, yeah, Diet Coke's got a little whiskey in it or something, man. It gets you. It's just you get high off of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coke.
Cocaine.
If you had Coke,
Drugs.
you'd be more focused.
Drugs, don't do them.
Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs,
You
kids.
think they'll make you cool, but they'll make you look like a fool. Drugs, don't do them.
You were talking about your friend and
yeah, what were we talking
he was
about?
helping you like through your cancer.
Yeah, I was giving some background to him, but I was saying how he said something last night that you had just said. Maybe not being prepared. You're ready to sing your notes.
Right, yeah, about how like true confidence comes from being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am really confident when I'm performing because I've done the work before I stepped on that stage to make sure I knew my shit.
Mm-hmm. That is so real. That's something I learned working at Spaghetti's. Yeah, it was
hard at Spaghetti's because they didn't give you enough time to really know your
They gave me like 5 scripts and said, "Hey, learn everything." And also, you have the main role. You have an 8-paragraph intro monologue. Like, what the fuck? I hadn't like professionally acted in like 10 years, man.
Girl, I felt you. Like because the host is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, and you had like just started working there, and they threw the host on you.
I know you could give me a smaller role to start off with. They gave me the largest role and then the smaller roles, and I don't know if they had some thought process behind it or what was their thought process? Like if it made logical sense, I need to hear the reasoning behind that. But knowing them, it probably didn't. But I digress. On this episode of today's podcast, are you ready to talk about the event?
So today I'm going to tell you all the story of Fire Douche.
Fire Douche. Fire Douche.
I call him Fire Douche because he was a firefighter. But this story, do you have anything else before you want to add before I get into it?
We had a good intro. I'm ready. All right. And I'll just try to I'll listen and I'll chime in from here to there.
Yeah. Okay, so the story of Fire Douche. I have not told this story before on camera. So you watching is the first time I hear it. Story of Fire Douche. So this was probably it was. I mean, I've been through several traumatic things in my life, but this is definitely one of those traumatic things. It was basically all of my fears about relationships and what could happen to me in a relationship coming true. And all of my like abandonment fears coming true.
Did he get another girl pregnant?
Fucked if I know. Alright, so Fire Douche. I met him on Hinge.
That's already a red flag.
Yep. I know this now. I am done with dating apps. I'm not doing it no more. Ever. I don't need it.
I've been celibate for the past like 2-3 months, and I've been staying off dating apps. I would use it to validate, really stroke my ego.
Yep.
Just jump off. Yep. Then I ended up like that last guy from was it DC? Yeah, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't even care anymore. His loss. But I digress. Back to you.
Yeah, so don't do dating apps, kids. Don't do drugs and don't do dating apps. The 2 Ds.
Don't do them.
So I met him on Hinge, and it was cool. Like the conversation was pretty cool. We seemed like we were vibing, so he asked me on a date, and And so we went on a date to this Korean hot pot place, which I highly recommend. I love Korean
I've been
hot
wanting to
pot.
go to a Korean hot pot.
It's so good.
It looks amazing. It's like pho.
It's like you grab all your own ingredients and you put it into this pot and cook it like right at your own table.
I love that.
And it's just like, it's an experience.
Wait, is it like but it's got like spices and seasonings in it though, right?
No, like you choose everything that you want. Well, you get to choose a broth base.
Because the melting
first. And then you go to this station where there's all these meats and vegetables, and you can choose your own meats and vegetables, bring it to your table, and cook it in this broth. Yeah.
It looks so yummy. I've seen it before.
We went to a hot pot place, and
well, she went to a hot pot. That's already positive. There you go.
So that's a hot pot.
Yeah, there you go.
But I was not that attracted to him when I first saw him.
That's honestly, that's always a red flag.
Well, I don't want to be shallow. You know, I didn't want to be shallow. So I'm like, let me give him a chance.
I mean, some people are into looks.
I typically am. But also I will say that when I first saw him, I was not that attracted to him, and I thought in my head, like, this will just be a nice, fun, positive date. But after this, I'm not really going to go anywhere with this because I'm not that attracted. But so we talked a lot during the date, and here's some other red flags. One of the stories he told me about himself on our first date was, well, actually there's a few stories. The first one he told me was about how his dad abuses his mother, or abused his mother.
He told you that on the first date?
Yeah.
Interesting. Choice of
dad
conversation.
Abuses his mother and even held a gun to his mother's head at one point.
Ooh.
And he actually saved his mom from this.
What a hero.
Right. The second story was he saved his friends from a bear.
Oh, another hero story.
Yep.
Oh, okay, Superman.
Yep. Saved his friends from a bear. And the third story was he saved him and his friends from being murdered. Kidnapped and murdered.
What?
Girl, I know. I'm such an idiot.
Oh, you were down bad. It's not you. It's not
no,
just
it was,
you.
though.
This is what, and you know what? This could have all been avoided if you wouldn't have gone somewhere with someone you weren't attracted to. I don't know, because I feel you. Because sometimes you want to make new friends, but I told you.
Also,
sometimes
I don't
people.
want to think that. I don't want to feel like people are lying all the time. So I was.
I
who am I to question someone's trauma, right?
I know, right?
So that's why I believed him, because I was like, who am I to question what his experience? But also, like, if that was true, you wouldn't be telling me on the first date.
If you're healed from it and you don't just like try to make yourself out to be a god complex and tell random dramatic stories in your life.
Yeah, so those were the 3 stories that he told me on our first date. All hero stories. It's good to keep in mind.
At least they sounded, he sounded like an interesting first date for sure. It wasn't boring.
Yeah, it was not boring. Those stories were not boring. I'm trying to think if there was any other stories he told me, like on that first date, that were wild. He said a lot of outlandish things, but looking back, it's interesting to note how, all of his stories involved him being the hero, him being such a good guy.
It's like, I want to hear both sides of the story. Can I talk to his friends and his mother and all these other people he saved? His neighbor's dog, cat out of the tree.
Right. So on that date, more stories. These are not hero stories though. After the date, the restaurant had closed, and he's like, "Oh, I want to keep talking to you and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I like talking to you and stuff." So we decided to just sit in his car and just chat. So we sat in his car and chatted, and then he proceeded to tell me stories about how demons were following him and his family. And how how he could sense them too, or something like.
This was one of your past lovers that did this? You're so brave to tell this story.
This is a cautionary. No, this is old Amanda.
I'm trying to think of how long ago I messed with someone that toxic, but it happens.
It happens.
It happens out of nowhere. They're all so toxic.
And I'm very Okay, so
Are you toxic?
No.
Were you toxic?
No. This is a spoiler of the whole thing, but I'll tell the whole story anyway. But this guy was a raging narcissist.
No, you don't say. That's a spoiler?
Well, no.
Girl.
Okay, but like, well, I was going to say that at the end just to say, and so you should know he's a raging narcissist. He was a raging narcissist. I'm a very compassionate, empathic person. And narcissists feed off of those kinds of people.
Oh, he's a taker. He's a taker and you're a giver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm very understanding and very empathic and nurturing. So someone like that is like I'm prime target.
Mm-hmm.
I was a prime target for that kind of person.
That's why you gotta be picky.
See how I was like, oh, I didn't want to like question his trauma. So that's why he was able to get away with that.
That's why you. Oh, that's how you are the way you are today. Where you're like, this guy's lying. Like he's lying. That's what you're saying when I told you, old boy from DC had mono. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, who lies about having mono? Like that's a interesting thing to pick.
They do.
I don't like to assume people are liars because the other way they handle things still doesn't make it right. They don't have to be a liar for that to excuse their behavior.
Yeah.
They try to throw that out. Like I think if I threw that out there, it made me the bad guy. You know, accusing someone. Like, that's a big accusation.
Yeah.
I have other reasons to be mad. I don't need to call them a liar. I digress, though. So
we sat in his car and he told me these wild stories. So this man had a lot of wild, crazy stories, which made him seem like a very interesting person. I'm like, who is this person?
But you're entertained.
So that's why. That's why I kept talking to him and seeing him, was because he had all these stories, and I'm like, I want to know more about these crazy things, you know. So it hooked me. That's how he got his hook.
Mm-hmm. Rusty hook.
And he was like polite. He was very nice and polite. He was very nice and polite. And
he was ugly?
He wasn't like ugly, but he wasn't like, I wasn't attracted to him when I saw him.
That's literally the worst.
So,
if you only surround yourself with sexy people, you won't have this problem.
Also, he kissed me on the first date, which I'm noticing is a red flag. Because the guy doesn't really know. He doesn't really know you. You guys don't know each other like that. Well, I'm talking about a kiss on the first date if it's like a dating app situation. If you've known the person for a while and they kiss, that's fine because you know each other. But yeah, that's a red flag because you're a stranger to me, and we had like a couple of hours conversation, and now you think it's like appropriate to like give me physical affection. It's forced. It's forced. It's not real. You're not kissing me because you really like me, because you have feelings. You're just doing it because you're just like, I want to get a kiss from a hot lady, you know? So
I love your perspective, because I was thinking from my perspective, because I haven't went on a date in a while, like especially a fresh date. And I told you they keep fucking not canceling the day of, but not contacting me the day of. And then it's like, why did you ask for my time? I give guys my time. They'll beg for my presence, and not beg. No, they'll ask for my presence. They'll pursue it. Let me say that. I'm trying to be nicer. I'm talking about men. They will pursue my presence and then not know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
They won't know what to do with that. I'll learn to give step-by-step instructions, but I try to let them take the lead sometimes.
Well, they should.
I want to give them that ability, that opportunity to take the lead. So I've been trying to sit back, which has been an interesting approach, and it's still the same result too, though.
Yeah.
With them still not canceling last minute, or it'll be a 5 p.m. date, and I won't hear from them until like 2 days before that. Like, it's better off not responding.
Yeah.
I just let them be fans. Like, people in the inbox just be fans. Yeah.
Let people just be fans.
It's differentiating between online and real life, because real life does matter. Real life matters a lot.
Yeah.
Back to you. Let's bring it back. Double that money and make a stack.
So I decided to keep seeing. And we went on another date. The second date was not. It was real. He seemed like an interesting person with those stories. but he was also just a very charming, sweet,
He sounds like a smooth talker.
caring,
He sounds like a
respectful
hustler.
guy. And on our second date, we went and we got lunch at a Thai place, and he was just like, he seemed so interested in learning about me and knowing who I am, and he was very empathic and very, like, he just seemed like such a really nice, kind guy.
They all do at first.
And you know, and he expressed how, you know, he really wants to find his person. He said all of the right things. All of the right things. And also, I felt a little betrayed by the universe because I remember on our second date, he asked me what my favorite flower was, and I told him red roses. And then I said, well, what's your favorite flower, you know? And he said sunflowers. And sunflowers was one of the signs that I had agreed upon with my, like, spirit guides.
I love sunflowers.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the sign that I had agreed with my spirit guides, that whenever I saw sunflowers, that would mean that my person is coming. I'm manifesting my person.
I also love red roses too. Those are beautiful too. I like the combination. Yeah, I love flowers. But yeah, you and the universe.
So I was angry at the end of all this because he just said his favorite flower was sunflowers, and that was my agreed upon sign from the universe that my person's coming. So I thought, oh my god, that's a sign that maybe he's my person.
I wonder if he Googled, like, top flower to say is a male's favorite flower. Top male favorite flowers.
He totally could have. I'll tell you one thing he did do, though. The reason why he was able to really relate with me a lot and talk about things that I was interested in and make me feel close to him, and a lot of narcissists do this, they take notes on you. They go on your social media. They see what you're interested in. They see what you like. They see the type of person you are. And they study that shit, and they use that to make you think that to make you feel more rapport with them, because they're like, oh, I like that too. I think the same thing. Oh, I really, like, for example, he used to say, oh, I meditate and I listen to meditation music, and I'm really into spirituality. I have crystals and everything, because he went on my Instagram and saw that I have crystals. I'm into spirituality and all of that stuff. Oh. So be aware of that.
How do you know he did that?
Because it's obvious.
Okay.
Just looking back.
I don't know if you had, like, concrete, like, proof or anything.
No, because, like, all the things, because I was thinking about, like, because he seemed like my perfect person because we had so much in common.
I feel that.
It's
that was DC douche recently.
Yeah. So it was like all the things that he said he had in common with me were things you could easily find out about me by just going on my Instagram. So, he even came to see me at Spaghetti's.
I think
he brought me like this big, huge, beautiful bouquet of red roses.
Oh, I love that. 1 second, I guess these.
Make sure that's still good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he brought me red roses and everything.
Oh, I'll cover here. So we can see what our best needs. I'm gonna take it out. Keep it in. Whatever. My bad. He brought you red roses. You said.
Yeah. So he was just really romantic and nice.
I'm a sucker for a bouquet, but honestly, that sounds like maybe a narcissist trait at this point, because who really brings bouquets?
And then I had only known this man for like maybe 2 weeks, and we had a date, and after the date, like maybe 5 minutes after we had said goodbye, he called me on the phone, and he was like, Amanda, I just want to let you know that, like, if I seemed a little nervous on the date, it's because I was nervous, because I really, really like you. And
that would have got me. That would have got me right there, maybe.
I really, right.
He
was like, because I really, really
I
like
love
you,
words of affirmation.
I don't want to fuck this up because I like you so much, and like I just I want you to know that like I want to pursue something with you, and like if you need anything, like I'm here, like I'm not going anywhere, like I want to be with you, and like I just want to add positive things to your life. Like I don't want to make your life harder. I want to make your life better. He just said all these really wonderful, amazing things that I've always wanted to hear a guy say to me, that I had never heard a guy say to me before.
Oh, you've never heard it? I'm surprised.
No.
Oh, that was your first time? Oh, no wonder you folded like cream cheese, girl.
See, I've had boyfriends before that I loved and they loved me, but I've never had a guy say, "I'm not going anywhere, Amanda. Like I'm here. I'm staying." And he said that shit and made me, so that feeling was like, oh my God, finally I found a guy that doesn't have commitment issues.
Or you found a smooth talker.
I did.
Did he ever do time? You went to jail?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I used to love felons, and they are such smooth talkers. Oh, sure. They're such smooth talkers. So like you get kind of immune to the bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, but I wasn't there yet. Some people just tell you what you got to get there. Yeah, that's why it's a journey. It's growing pains. It's what they say, Canada effect.
You had those experiences, and I hadn't had those experiences, so I was not in a place where I could recognize that.
Yeah, and I still fall for bullshit. Don't make me think I'm. Yeah, it's hard not to. Don't think I'm over here high and mighty. I'm not. I'm working on it hard. I'm working on it really hard. And they also the trash takes itself out. It does. But yeah, he folded like cream cheese after those comments.
Yep, he said all the things, and then my best friend was coming to visit me in town, and he was like, "Oh, I want to meet your best friend and everything." So my best friend came into town. She lives in Maine, so she flew into Myrtle Beach, and she met him, and he charmed her too. Because even she, like, when she met him, she was like, I like him. Like, he seems really genuine. One of our co-workers at Spaghetti's that we both knew, that I was really good friends with. And
Dio?
Instead of... Starts with an R. I just don't want to name him.
Oh, no, don't. Here, give me an alias that I would know.
Who played the main guy a lot. That you kind of had a crush on.
Oh, I love him. Yes. He's smooth. He met him. He has bad judgment. Have we not concluded that?
He does. Which
love you though.
Love you. Anyway, hope he doesn't watch this.
No, hope he does. Hey, come over to the light side.
Come to the light side.
We're chill over here.
So he met him and was like, "Oh, this guy seems really genuine. I like him."
Yeah. He also said our old boss would pay good.
Yeah. And then our old boss had.
I never got paid good there a day in my life.
He also told me that our old boss always puts his employees first, and always has in mind what's best for his employees. Yeah. But anyway, we digress. I digress.
Yeah. I have no comment on that. So yeah, he charmed everybody around you and everybody.
All of my friends. And
he's an actor. He should have got a job.
He was actually
what?
When he was younger, he did theater, and he was an actor. He was in a jazz band. I think he sang jazz. So I was
he's a creative.
Oh my gosh, a fellow creative.
I love a fellow creative.
Actor, a fellow singer who likes jazz. I love jazz. Oh my gosh.
Like, you express yourself like creatively,
and he loved taking videos.
That's so hot.
And I love taking videos. So he'd take these cool artistic videos, and I just thought he was so cool. And I'm like, the universe has brought me my person finally. Right? He met all my friends, so he passed the friend test. Then he had me meet his friends.
How were they? What kind of people does he hang out with?
Well, they were all firefighters. So they were like fun and nice, but like I didn't know much about them. It's fun.
I told you my dad was chief of the fire department for like 16 years, right?
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, so when you talk about firefighters, I'm like, how firefighters? It was like a volunteer fire department in like a country town. Like they were really good old boys. Like they were chill. Like nice guys.
I've also like heard and seen a lot of things about how like it's like this common knowledge that firefighters are all like playboys.
Okay,
like,
Dad.
That
Playboy.
they all like sleep around and cheat on their wives and everything. Like
Dad, you need to defend these accusations.
And also, like, I looked into, because I was so confused, because he was a firefighter, right? So I'm thinking, oh, he's a good person. Like,
he's giving back to the community.
He's giving back to the community.
Maybe, no wonder he's telling stories about saving people. I forgot there's a firefighter.
So I'm like, there's no way that he can be a narcissist. He's got to be a good person if he cares about saving people's lives, right? Yeah. So, so that's another thing that got me. But I realized that a lot of firefighters are narcissists because it's a perfect profession for someone who's a narcissist.
Like for a hero complex.
They have a hero complex.
Must save the day.
Everyone so they're the crazy ones that'll run into a burning building because it feeds their ego to do it.
Psychos. I would never.
I would stay away from firefighters. Just saying. I will never date another firefighter. I can guarantee that.
Watch the universe give you a firefighter next. Careful what you say.
So,
firefighters equal bad.
Fire douches. So yeah. So he seemed like this perfect person, this amazing, wonderful person. Here's the first situation that made me feel like so we went out, me, him, and his friends, for like a Halloween party at like this club in Myrtle Beach, and it was such a fun time. I had a really wonderful time. He was buying me drinks left and right.
So generous.
Yeah.
Generous or getting you drunk?
He was buying me drinks left and right, being really affectionate, putting his arm around me, kissing my head, and like asking, "Are you okay?" Asking me if I'm okay, and just being very boyfriend-like, right?
What a hero.
Yeah, right, a hero. What a nice guy.
What a hero. What a guy.
So I got really, really drunk, and it was actually really weird. I don't know, maybe he did something to the drink or something. I don't know though, because I remember everything. It's not like I lost my memory, but
did you have a disconnect between mind and body?
I don't know. I don't know what that would really. Well, the thing is, that I remember I was drinking and I felt like okay. I felt a little like buzzed, I guess. But then I had another drink. I went to the bathroom and I came back and like I kept drinking, and all of a sudden I was drunk as fuck.
Sometimes the drunk just sneaks up
on you. It does.
Too.
So I don't know. But I was drunk as hell, and I was like, I want to leave and everything. I don't feel good. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's leave. Let's go back to the house. And this could be just because I was so drunk, my memory's hazy, but I don't remember all that much about getting back to his house. I do remember that we were like, he was driving me home, and he was driving me to his house. We were going to spend the night at his house. He was driving me back to his house, and I couldn't like keep my eyes open because I was getting the spin so badly that when you're in a car, it feels like you're on a roller coaster. So I was keeping my eyes closed, and then I remember like feeling really sick. So I asked him to pull over, and I opened the car door and puked out the side of the car. And I don't get that drunk.
I hate
that. Was
that
very, very. That was so just not something out of character and not like me. Typically, like before I get to the sick part, I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm usually pretty good at like not getting to that point, but apparently I did that night. Got to that point. He brought me inside. I was throwing up in the toilet. I remember that. I remember him like being there while I was throwing up in the toilet, like pulling my hair back and everything.
I don't want to be touched when I'm throwing up. I hate that.
And then this is when my memories, I'm like, I don't really remember much. And like I said, it could just be because maybe I was reaching blackout stage. But I don't remember him changing my clothes, but he changed my clothes.
What a hero. Yeah. Sorry, let me stop.
Because I was in a costume, obviously. So I wasn't in comfortable clothes and I wanted to be in nice clothes. Also, I do remember him taking my makeup off. because I remember saying to him, I can't sleep with makeup on. I have makeup wipes over there. Can you wipe my makeup off? And I remember him wiping my makeup off. Right, so sweet. Oh my god, he's such a nice guy. Such a hero.
Really looking out.
And he's just, being very calming and caring, and it's okay. Like, I got you and everything. Like, I'm right here. And then I guess we went to his bed and got in bed, and I fell asleep. And then I guess I woke up again in the middle. I don't really remember this, getting up in the middle of the night, and I guess I threw up again. But anyway, that just.
What were you drinking?
Just mixed drinks. That's the thing. Is that they were these really sugary mixed drinks. Because it was like a party, a Halloween event at a club, and they don't make strong drinks at clubs.
Well, it's Halloween weekend too. Like I didn't go out the past 2 Halloweens because I went out so hard the past 5 other ones. But I have vivid memories on the last 5 of Halloween.
Well, I get drunk as fuck. I had a couple Jello shots too, and I don't know if maybe those were stronger than I thought they were.
If you say you feel like you're drugged, that's valid, but also there's a couple things can be true at once. Like Halloween weekend, whoa, like I get tore the fuck up on Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
But also I know what it felt like a time not too long ago in the past year where I felt like I was drugged, and you don't just get that feeling out of nowhere. But also, we've been drinking less as we've gotten. I'll speak for myself. Like I've been drinking less as I've been more healthy and as I've gotten older, because alcohol really will tear me up. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
But so maybe who knows? There's some. These are all the. This is the evidence.
Yeah.
So y'all tell us, like, what do y'all think?
Yeah. Was Amanda drugged or not?
Was it him? Was it her? Was it a combination of the both? We all play our parts. You tell us who.
So, yeah. So the next morning, I was hella hungover. Oh, every breath I took, I felt like I was gonna throw up. So I was constantly going to the bathroom, and he was cooking breakfast. He was gonna cook breakfast for everybody. His roommate and his friends were over, and they were all gonna have breakfast. I had to stay upstairs in his room because I could not function because I was so. And so he went downstairs to cook breakfast, and he just left me up there. He put the TV on for me and stuff. He was like, I'll be back to check on you and stuff.
Regular old relationship.
Right. Yeah. So he brought me food up that he had cooked, but I couldn't eat it because these are all these little details. But just to give you more of a picture of like how like boyfriendly he was acting, and how caring and considerate he was acting, kind of. So after he did breakfast with his friends and everything, they left. He came back upstairs and he's like, let's watch a movie and let's watch a movie together, help you feel better. He even had got up like super early that morning, like 6 a.m. to go run to the store to get me Gatorade before I woke up.
Nice.
Yeah, really nice. What a nice guy.
Or cheap because he didn't get DoorDashed.
Right. So we watched the movie together, and then he starts to put the moves on me. Girl, I'm still in like his clothes. I have just thrown up everything that's in my body and some, and this dude is like kissing on me and trying to like initiate something. That made me feel a little ick because it's like,
because you're so drunk.
Well, I'm not drunk at this point. I'm really hungover, but like I'm really hungover. I've just been throwing up everything. I feel sick, and you're trying to like get sex out of me.
Oh yeah.
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 So that made me feel a little weird, but also like I told him like we're not doing anything, and he was just like,
they don't know what that means.
And he was like, oh okay. He's like, okay, I understand. Yes, like it's okay, and everything. Like no, we don't have to. Blah blah. But then he like kept still like kissing on me and stuff. Like,
yeah, they don't know what that means. Yeah, like especially like you're laying in his bed with him. Like,
right.
Like I've had to notice for myself. I've had to make sure I don't go over hang out too late at night or too consistently, or like even look too nice. Because when I say like I'm not interested, I mean I'm not interested, and they will push that. They try to like convince you. Yeah, I've had that. Yeah. I saw that.
So I didn't. I stuck to it. I was not going to do that. I was like, I'm not gonna like have sex with you when I'm sitting here like hungover, like feeling like shit, stuff like that's not hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, we don't have to, and everything. So we watched a movie, and then I had to work that night.
Oh my God.
As a mermaid. So I went and I was a mermaid, super hungover. But luckily, like the pool,
around? But luckily, the pool. But that kind of felt good though, right?
Because the pool was heated.
Oh, it's heated.
It was kind of soothing, actually. It was kind of nice. It kind of made me feel a little better.
I've been swimming tipsy before, and I felt great.
So after that, God, this is a long story. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There's a lot that happened.
Disclaimer: I said I enjoyed being tipsy and swimming, and I do not condone drinking and swimming.
Yeah. So that was fine, and then oh my God, like then that next week was when I started feeling a type of way, because
were you seeing him for his intentions?
Well, it all started with, usually he would text me really consistently, and then one night he like stopped texting me earlier, like way earlier in the night than usual, and that made me feel like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why isn't he replying to me and everything? And that very night, I had this awful, awful nightmare. It was the scariest nightmare. In this nightmare, I woke up from this nightmare. I was so shaken up that I like had to walk into the living room, and like my grandmother was in the living room, and I had to like sit with her for a second because I was so like kind of distraught over this nightmare. But in this nightmare, it was like I was going crazy in this nightmare, and people were like, someone had moved around all of my stuff my grandfather had moved all around all of my stuff in my bedroom, and I was like, why'd you move that around? Why? And he's like, Amanda, you don't remember? You told me you wanted me to move that. And I'm like, no, I don't remember that. What? And then like the next thing in the dream, blood started dripping from the walls.
Do you believe in your dreams? Do you believe they talk to you?
I do.
See, mine are so random that they're all over the place.
All of mine mean something. The blood started dripping from the walls, and then in my dream, someone was following me, or something was watching me. And I remember, like, in my dream, I woke up in my dream. Like, in my bed, I woke up in my dream, and there was, like, some kind of ghost poltergeist or something, like, banging my stuff around in my room and everything. Yeah, it felt real because I had woken up in my dream, right? And so then I'm going crazy, and then there's a part of my dream when I couldn't open up my eyes, but I felt something coming after me, and I remember like screaming, like, they're coming after me, they're coming after me. Like in my dream, I was literally going crazy. I was going crazy. And I woke up from this dream, like in real life, and I was so shaken up, I had to go sit in the living room with my grandmother. And the next day, I was out of it because that dream had done a number on me. And I was feeling really, really anxious about this guy because he had stopped texting me early the previous night. And so I decided to tell him about my feelings.
I love talking about my feelings. I hate that shit though.
So I was like, do you want to have a video call? And he said, yeah. And we had a video call, and I told him about my feelings, and he said, thank you so much for, I told him about my, like I told him I'm starting to like you, and that's making me nervous because, I've been hurt a lot in the past. So naturally I'm going to get a little anxious. I'm going to be a little anxious right now, just so you know.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, oh, thank you so much for telling me that. Like,
oh, it's probably like the hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, yeah. He was like, don't worry. Like, I will be here for you. I'm not going to hurt you. Like, I'm gonna help you work through this. We'll do this together.
That's
Like,
honestly, that's a red flag
I
too,
want to
for
help
real.
you heal. And he just said all the really wonderful, nice things, and I felt so good. I felt so nice. I felt so seen. I felt so heard. And so the next week came, and we went on another date. I spent like the whole weekend with him. Um, we did the deed that weekend.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
And you lasted pretty long. Good job.
Yeah, it lasted a good maybe 3 weeks.
Good job.
So we did the deed. It was awful, by the way.
No shit.
It was awful.
The way you described him, I could tell it was gonna be bad.
Yeah.
And like this, the foundation.
Yeah, it was awful.
If someone's making you anxious, that's kind of like a red flag too. Like if you feel anxious in the situation.
Yeah. So,
you're not alone though. Like I get anxious too.
Right.
I mean, does feel like I'm being condescending.
Yeah, no, not at all. So we did the deed, and then we spent a really wonderful weekend together. Then the next week was when he started coming up with excuses of he was very sick. At one time he was very sick because I called him and he didn't call me back. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just really, really sick. I have a fever. So like I've been sleeping and resting a lot. And then he was in the fire academy. So like he wasn't texting me so much. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm just really stressed right now because I've been sick. Plus I have to go to fire academy and they're really rough on us. And then he started having like conflicts with his roommate / best friend. So he started telling me about how he's stressed about that, and so he's got a lot going on. And yeah, his consistency was way off. He started texting me way less, which was making me feel like super anxious. Also because I knew, you know what, I just slept with this dude and he got what he wanted, so now he's like on his way out, right? That was my fear.
Don't we all fear that too?
And the anxiety in my head was telling me that. And so I started feeling anxious. But then I was like, Amanda, we're going to try to work on our communication skills. Let's talk to him about how we're feeling.
Well,
right?
You're trying to do your part. You're doing your best, but like it takes two people to be in something,
right?
And so I mean, you're feeling like that's valid. You're doing your best.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're just trying,
right? So I decided to talk to him about it. I just told him like one day, like I need to talk to you. Like I want to tell you this in person. Mind you, he lived like 20 minutes from me, but he was like making it seem like he couldn't hang out with me because he was so busy with work and he was tired and blah blah blah.
He wasn't busy those first couple weeks,
right? So I said, no, like I need to talk to you about something right now. Like I need to see you. Like I need to tell you this in person. He's like, okay, sure. So he met me like at a restaurant. I didn't even want to go in the restaurant because I was so anxious and so upset. So he just sat in his car and I just let it all out. He held my hand the whole time and looked in my eyes and just listened. And every so often he would like touch my hand.
Oh my god, this is a psychopath.
And then he had like tissues on him and he would dab my tears and just say, it's okay, like please, like tell me what's on your mind, please tell me. He'd have my hand and he would so kind. So kind, so nice. And I told him all about my abandonment fears and how I get so anxious and sometimes it's just really difficult for me to stop the anxious thoughts,
and sometimes it's like you're anxious, like it's anxiety, but sometimes it's also like your discernment, your intuition kicking in, because I feel like the right person like literally wouldn't make you that anxious, but we all have anxieties, but like not to that extent, because even like I looked at them, and I'm sorry to get off topic real quick, but like even the last guy I was seeing, when I was telling you like I was trying to reflect on what was my problem, what was my fault, and you're like, he's lying, and I'm like, no, he's not, and you're like, yes, he is. And then I think, and you might have been right. No, you might. I'm dead ass. You might have been right.
Yeah, because it's like the situation. It was pretty
very similar. Yeah,
very similar. What I had already gone through. So I told him all about it, and he was very nice, kind, blah blah. And then he was like, okay, well, I haven't eaten today and I'm very tired. I've been at the academy all day. I need to go home. Are you okay? Are you going to be okay? Please text me when you get home. He gave me a really big hug before we parted and, said, thank you so much. Like, don't feel bad about telling me anything. Because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry that I just, like, unloaded all that on you. He's like, no, like, don't feel bad. Like I care about you. Like, I want you to be happy. Thank you so much for telling me. I need to know these things. All the right things to say, right? So that was fine.
What an actor.
Yeah, that was fine. And then when I got home, he was like, was texting me. He's like, are you home yet? Are you home yet? Please tell me you're safe. I texted him when I got home, and I texted him this whole long thing about how, like, thank you so much for listening to me today. Like, it feels good that I was able to get to communicate to you how I was feeling. It was a big step for me to do that too. I'm not used to doing that with people, but I feel really safe with you. So, which is one of the reasons why I felt so open to tell you about this stuff.
Psych.
Right. I feel so safe with you. And he texted back and he's like, thank you so much. It means so much to me that you would be vulnerable enough to say that stuff to me, or to be honest with me, blah, blah, blah. So it sounded really nice and fine and wonderful. And, oh, I feel so much better. This guy really likes me. Clearly, he really cares about me.
Some people view others as a conquest.
So, a couple days later, he's just very spotty with his communication. He claims again that he's just been really tired and feeling sick and everything. And he's got these big tests he has to study for the fire academy. He has all these quizzes. He had these quizzes he had to do that required hours and hours of his attention. And he was studying with his fire academy buddies for these quizzes, so that's why he couldn't really text me, because he was studying and busy doing that, really focused. So he was just not communicating with me. Every time I would say, hey, when are we going to hang out again? He would be like, oh, I don't know. These quizzes are just really killing me. I'm really stressed about these quizzes right now. I need to get 12 of them done in 2 days. Like, it's taking up all my time and all that stuff. And I was understanding. I was very understanding and compassionate. Like, oh, I understand. That must be really stressful, but, like, yes, please, like, stay focused. You're gonna do great. You're gonna pass. Blah, blah, blah. I was very nice. And then,
as you are.
Yeah.
As you are.
And then one day he didn't text me all day that day, and I texted him. It was like at noon or something. He didn't reply to me until noon the next day, and it was just with a really short reply. And then I replied to him, and then he would wait like maybe 2 days before replying to me.
That's weird.
Yeah. So then I was pretty sure, like, oh my gosh, like, this is over. So I decided to just stop texting him altogether, because I'm like, clearly this dude doesn't want to talk to me. But then part of me was like, well, maybe there's a misunderstanding or something. Like, or maybe he really is really busy with these quizzes, and, he's not meaning to ignore you. He's just going through something.
The worst is, I'll add to this, the worst is sometimes I'll be like, maybe I'm just annoying.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Maybe I'm like bothering him right now when he's really stressed or focused right now. So, like, let me just, like, not text him. But then, like, a couple of days passed, and I'm like, well, let me send him, like, a little text. Just reach out. No answer. No reply. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Then I'm talking to everybody about it. Why is he not texting me? Like, what's going on? Like, they're like, I don't know. Like, maybe he's really, everyone's saying maybe he really is stressed out and busy.
You got idiots around you.
Right? And then my brother one day was like, Amanda, you need to just, like, text him or try to call him and see, like, what's up. You need to just ask him, like, be direct and just be like, what's going on? Like, are you in this or not? I was like, I don't know, I'm so scared. I'm scared to do that.
He's scared. That's why he doesn't say anything back. He's a coward, loser.
So I did. I ended up texting him, and I'm like, hey, I haven't heard from you in like a few days, so I'm just reaching out to see like if everything's okay. No answer, no reply. Even then, after that, I still hung on. And about a week later, I decided to. One of my friends convinced me to call him.
Oh yeah, I would have called him. Yeah, I love calling.
Yeah, one of my friends convinced me to call him. I wasn't going to.
Let's get to the point.
I was like, she's like, Amanda, just try to call him.
I love
and
calling.
Just be like, what's up? Why aren't you answering my text?
I'll call like 4 or 5 times. So, over a couple of days, it's like that's how DC guy started going distant, because like, remember how he was sick, but then you're like, she's like, you're like, you said he hasn't answered the phone or a FaceTime, like he's lying.
Yeah,
he's lying. I was like, no, he's just sick. No, I'm so understanding, because he would be direct with me if we're cutting things off, because we had plans in the weekend, but no, coward. Yep. Cowardly.
So she convinced me to call him, and luckily she was right next to me when I did it, because I called him, and it was going straight to voicemail, and I'm like, oh, that's really weird.
Did he block you?
I'm like, that's really weird. It's going straight to voicemail. Maybe his phone's off or something. And she's like,
That's what I said
that's
too.
really strange. Well, because
there's no way.
Well, no, I called the phone, and it would pick up, and I'd be like, hello? And I heard nothing. It was just like static noise. And then after like a few moments, it would go to voicemail. I'm like, okay, that's really weird. Maybe like there's something wrong with the connection. So I call him again.
Yeah.
Heard nothing but static for a little bit, and then his voicemail started to play. And I'm like, that's really weird. Like, is something wrong with his phone? And my friend was like, let me try to call him. So she dialed his number on her phone. Within a couple rings, he picks up. Hello? And I remember it plain as day. Oh my God, my heart
ripped out your chest.
Ripped out of my chest.
Because as that confirmation. It's one thing when
he just blocked me. Like, he has legitimately, after everything, I'm getting a little emotional on this.
Oh, fuck him.
After everything that I had told him, and I had told him all of my fears, it was very vulnerable with him, and he sat there and looked me in the eyes and said, I'm not going to hurt you and whatnot. He goes and blocks me for no reason, unprovoked. I was not crazy on him. I did nothing but just talk to him and communicate to him like my truth.
And some people will use that, like you said, narcissists will use it to their advantage, not to be empathetic to you, but to like have blackmail.
Oh yeah, looking back now, like I know that.
And I don't know if you've viewed it like this. This is how I started viewing things. Did you approach it like viewing him, like seeing what you could see in him, like questioning your intentions with him, instead of like seeing his intentions with you, or it was so confusing in that moment with you and him? Because for myself, like I used to hang out with this guy, and when I had my like mental switch from all this therapy I've been doing, I started seeing like his intentions with me versus mine with him, and it was some guy I was not that attracted to, and I was like, oh, he's acting like he's here for me. He's acting like he's a good listener, but he's waiting for me to shut up so he can touch me.
Yeah.
He's waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of started seeing that when my third eye opened, and it's scary once you see people's intentions with you, because they all have intentions, whether it's subconscious or direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Like it would have never worked out, because like
I was doomed from the start.
Yeah, you were doomed from the start.
So anyway, so that was all literally like my biggest fear was being abandoned by somebody that I really, really liked and that acted like they really cared about me. And it had come true right before my eyes, and I just broke. I broke so bad. It was awful. I cried for days. I couldn't eat for days. It was like, it sounds stupid, like why should one little asshole make you feel that way? But like it was bigger than that for me, because it was the culmination of all of my fears about dating and relationships just happening in front of me. And I felt like, how in the world am I ever going to trust anyone ever again?
And you think if you tell someone, like, hey, these are my boundaries, hey, these are my fears, like, please be gentle with me. And they say, okay, like, you think they're going to, but that doesn't mean they're going to. That doesn't mean they're going to.
You don't know if they're going to. So how can I ever trust anyone says ever again?
And even when I was telling you about me and my friend arguing last night, like, friendship breakups hurt me. Those hurt. Like, you saw how distraught I was earlier before me and you started filming. I had to get myself out together. And that's why him offering to emotionally regulate you, like, soothing your anxieties and I'll be there for you and don't worry about it. That you've learned that now through this experience, and I've learned it before. That's such a red flag.
Yep.
Such a red flag. Because you are offering that, and then you're taking yourself away from me. Like, you're taking yourself out of the equation. And then what do you expect? You just took you just lit the fucking the firework. Like, tick tick boom.
Yep. So I was absolutely distraught and everything. But my best friend, she one day texted me like a week after, and she's like, Amanda, I found something. And she had found like a playlist on Spotify that he had made. It was a shared playlist with another girl. And they were all love songs. They were all love songs, and in the profile picture, or the picture cover photo of the playlist was him and her together.
What a hero. What a romantic hero.
So I guess he had another girl the whole time, or maybe he found another girl and that's why he cut it off with me. I don't know.
Who knows? That's an option.
But yeah, so he was with another girl, but also like a week later, or like a few days after that, she had found the playlist on Spotify. He was all of a sudden in a relationship on Facebook with this girl.
That'll explain it. That explains him blocking you.
Right. So, also,
and he was on Hinge. Yeah.
There is he would I asked about him on one of those Facebook groups.
No, you did.
I did. I'm not gonna say what group because I don't
I know the group.
That,
I know group.
But on one of those Facebook groups, I asked about.
I love those groups. I'm in like 5 or 6 of them,
yeah.
but I just always watch.
And there
don't have those problems.
There were some people that commented with experiences.
Give me one example, please.
Like one girl said that something along the lines of like, he seemed really nice and really cool, but like on our first date he took his pants off. Yeah.
Was he the same complexion as us?
No.
Interesting. Sounds like some bright people activities. Not me a stereotype. Well, I'm a stereotype bright people, but they did. And this is why, because I had my best friend growing up.
You know
Taylor,
what he
would do some stuff like that.
He kind of was the same complexion.
Oh,
but he had a little something.
Well, we kind of have a little something too. It's like,
but he had a little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay.
Yeah. He was from LA.
Nice. West Coast. There you go.
He was from LA. He always liked to brag about all the celebrities he met. By the way.
What a douche.
Yeah, douche. So anyway, so that's the ending of that story. So basically, the moral of that story is don't be fucking stupid, like I was. But also,
and question everyone's intentions. Question everyone's intentions.
But also look more at actions than words. Also, don't give yourself. This is the biggest thing that I learned from that experience. Do not give yourself to someone that you don't know.
And don't give all of yourself to somebody. Put all your eggs in one basket. Stay busy. Stay busy. Even us getting here today.
Stay focused on yourself. And I don't care if you've had 2 dates with a guy and he's like, I'm so in love with you. Like, you're the best, the most amazing woman I've ever met. Don't believe them. Don't believe them
They'll say
until they
what
prove it over time.
they will say, whatever
And do
they
not
want
be like,
to
oh,
get
thank
what
you
they
so
want.
much. Stay distant. Stay detached until it's really time.
And it's crazy that we're giving this advice at the end, because I had end of the episode advice here, and we basically said the same thing. Do all the things you're excited to do in a relationship. For example, go out to eat, start a movie, and catch the sunset. Those activities are not exclusive to people in a relationship. Build a community, invest in friendships, make new friends, and work on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't ignore red flags.
Do you feel liberated getting the story off your chest? You should. You should be proud of yourself.
I told this story many times to people, like in my life, but I've never said it on camera. But I wanted to put this story out there just as a cautionary tale, as a real cautionary tale, because I know that there are people out there that are like what I used to be. Some of you watching this may be the way that I used to be, where I was very empathic, just a good, caring, big-hearted person, and you want to love people right away because you love and you have so much love to give. But please, like, against all of your instincts, do not give all of your love to somebody that you barely know and that hasn't proven to you that you can trust them. Don't give them your trust right away. Make them earn your trust over time. And I know it's hard because you really want to trust people because you love people and you love and they seem like such a good person. But please, like, protect yourself. Protect yourself.
And leave at the first red flag. Because you let people slide, they'll motherfucking ice skate.
I should have left the moment that he tried to have sex with me when I was really hungover. That was the big thing that I should have been like.
What's crazy is that's very common. It's common. People do that.
I don't think I've never had a guy do that to me before.
I love that for you.
I don't think I've had a guy do that to me before.
I was talking to one of my guy friends the other night, and he was saying, like, if you're in mid intercourse and a girl tells you to stop, you stop. He's like, all guys stop. I said, they don't all stop.
Yeah.
But I digress. Thank you for sharing your story, Amanda. We love men. But we've had to learn to discern between the bad ones and the good ones, and not keep us guarded against the bad ones, and having us project that onto someone else, like, because you attract people on the same level as you, and you attract what kind of energy you put out. And if we think all men are bad, then we will never have a good guy. Yeah. And they're not all bad. They're people too. And just because he made you feel like a piece of meat, like, you could take that energy and then project it on the next person, make them feel like a piece of meat to make you feel better. But you're not doing that. You're acknowledging it and moving past it. And you should be proud of that. And that's how you should do it. Like, you shouldn't just take it out on the next person. That's just a toxic cycle that'll start, and then it's hard to get out of. It won't end. Yeah. So my advice is what worked for me. I journaled the difference between discernment, anxiety, and intuition. I wrote all the definitions down, and, like, I've read it. Was I reading some to you earlier? Pages on my my notebook, pages and pages of it. Yeah, until I understood the difference, and it's made me feel better. Yeah. But also, even what you said before to me, like, we have our own things going on. Me personally, I have my own things going on, and I love that I feed into that and have other areas to give my love to in my life. Because even when I talked about me and you, like, we're a partnership. When I think of me finding a man, like, I think of a partner, but it's like there's different forms of partnership in your life. Like, me and my roommate have a financial partnership. Mm-hmm. Like, there's different types of relationships. Like, it's not even just a romantic relationship I'm seeking. It's like, because my relationship with myself is super romantic. I love to go watch the sunset. Yes. I love to go, like, write poetry. My relationship with my girlfriends is very romantic. Like, we'll go on walks at certain times to watch the sunset. So
I wanted love really bad at that time too. I did. I wanted a romantic relationship, like a loving boyfriend, like I did at that time, and that was another thing that
who doesn't?
But me right now, I don't really care that much. It would be really nice, but I have so much going on for me right now. Same. With the podcast and you know, my dancing. I've been doing a lot of
and
dancing
trying to
and
focus, and
working
they'll
on my
throw you
health
off. They will throw you
and my
off to the
glow
wrong
up and
person. Yeah,
stuff. Now I'm like, I don't need a boyfriend.
we definitely don't need. Needs a strong word.
I don't necessarily even want. I don't not want one, but I'm not sitting here like, where's my boyfriend? I hope my
Oh,
boyfriend comes
please.
soon. I'm just like, you know what? My boyfriend will come when my boyfriend comes.
Absolutely. And go us for staying off the dating apps, because we could
Yes.
seek it out more easily
Never
if we
more.
wanted to, but no,
Never
I've got
again.
time for that.
That was my last straw.
And you're right. I don't have time for it either.
Nope.
I'm always open to loving relationships in my life, but also I have to be careful about who I have around me too. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Understanding, like communicative,
Yeah.
a deep lover, definitely. And that's all the relationships in my life I love. My love comes in many forms, but the wrong person will mess you up too. So I don't got time to fall off.
This is a boundary I'm going to make for myself. This is something that, this is my rule.
Mm.
May not work for everybody. For me, this is how it's got to go. I have to be friends with them first.
Absolutely. No, that should be a ground rule. That should be a ground rule.
Friendship first. I don't care if you want to take me out to dinner. We are friends going to dinner. You can still pay for me.
That's why I told the guy from the Indian restaurant that we always run into.
We are friends first. Don't expect anything from me. Do not expect me to be your girlfriend one day. We're just
don't expect because you buy me dinner that I owe you shit. That's why I don't like people buying stuff for me. They feel like you owe them.
I appreciate it. I appreciate when a man buys me dinner, and I'm very grateful.
It's like that guy, like,
but please don't buy me dinner, think it's a date, and then think that we are now dating.
Or think that I owe you something. Well, yeah, that mine is I owe you something. I don't owe shit.
Get to know me first as a friend. We can hang out. We get to know each other. Be friends, platonic. And then if one day we get to be more, cool. But there's no guarantee. I'm not giving you a guarantee. Don't expect it.
Hell no, I'm subject to change my mind at all times.
Right. So, and I don't, yeah. So
relationships are every day too.
But some people, they like to meet a guy and go on a date and fall in love, and now you guys are like dating and stuff. I'm not doing dating anymore. Our dynamic either grows into something or it doesn't.
They say people are supposed to like date multiple people at once too, but I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. I just want to love the fuck out of one person. But even like,
that's another reason why, let's be friends first, because like I'm gonna be friends with other guys too, and I'm not being sneaky or whatever. I'm literally friends with these people.
Love friendship.
And I like dudes. I do. I enjoy having guy
I
friends
enjoy
too. I really do.
I enjoy male company.
Yeah, me too. I really do.
I've had to work on my relationship with how I view men. And like, because men have viewed me as a piece of meat before, so I started doing the same thing back. I told you, matching energy, that's not always a good thing. Yeah. That's not fair. Yeah. It's not fair. So I've had to work on my friendships with men, and I have been, and it's been great. Yeah. Listening to their perspective is so funny. Well, like, it's just very interesting, just very different. And ours is different from theirs, and vice versa. But yeah, I had to work on that because I want a guy that could be my friend or doesn't want to just use me. And then I got to make sure I had to check myself and make sure I wasn't doing the same with them.
Because if you're just friends first and they still want to hang out with you, that's a green flag.
That's why, yeah.
Because they're not getting anything out of it besides getting to know you.
I've had to fight my own desires when it comes to stuff like that. I know it's hard. It's so hard. That's why I'll tell my guy friends, I'm like, hey, just let you know, like, women like sex too. Yeah. Women like sex. Yeah, we do. But it's just we gotta fight it. But I also tell them it's different for us than it is for them. Like, when it doesn't end when we're done with the act. Like, we go home, we gotta worry about if we're pregnant, we gotta take a pregnancy test, pop a plan B, do something, just throw off our birth control. Like, it's just a whole process.
Well, y'all just so your
I wish they could get pregnant. Oh my gosh, I'd have at least 2 kids by now. I'd have a family. But I digress. What time are we at? We're ready to cut it out? Where are we at? Okay, let's go. Thank you for watching episode 4. Next episode will be my birthday episode. Yeah. We're gonna do the Hear Me Out cake. And Yeah, so me and you can have a few cutouts, and then I'll have my friends or family that are here too as well, like join in on it. They can hold one of the microphones or something.
Oh my god, that would
Yeah.
be fun.
Oh my gosh, wow, 5th episode on the birthday. That's
Thank
exciting.
you so much for listening to my story. It was a long one.
Thank you,
but
Amanda, for sharing.
I hope maybe you learned something, or if you didn't learn anything, then maybe you can at least feel like you're not alone if you've ever been through something like that. Because I know a lot of us women have been through things like that. So just know that you're not the only one.
And just know, if you haven't been through this yet, it doesn't have to be a canon effect. You don't have to go through it. If you want to learn from someone else's mistakes, please choose one of ours. Please choose our mistakes, so you don't have to do it. Then you can already be ahead in life. You don't gotta go through as much turmoil. Nope. You can start thriving, like creating, like just think about the positives. Mm-hmm. But thank you again for watching, y'all. And remember, ask and you shall receive. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. But say please. Bye.